Okay, so here is the pre-recorded video of 1.3 day 1. And we're going to go ahead and just jump down to example 1. And we are going to model a piecewise defined function. So a piecewise function is going to have different functions on one graph, basically. That's a very simple explanation of it, but Alani has a summer job as a lifeguard. She makes $15 an hour. I'm going to go ahead and just highlight as I'm going. So she makes $15 an hour for the first 40 hours a week. And then if she works more than 40 hours, she's going to make 1.5 times her hourly base is time and a half for every hour over 40. And then how could you make a graph and write a function that shows the hours and earnings? So if we were doing this, we would first write down the $15 an hour. So we have for the first 40 hours, she's going to make 15 times X. So minimum wage for just 0 to 40 hours because she can't work negative hours. And then if she works more than 40 hours, so anything more than 40, then she's going to make 1.5 of 15, so $22.50 X. However, this is only going to work if we have the hours after. So if she works 50 hours, we need, other way around, sorry. If she works 50 hours, I first need to take the 40 off and then only be multiplying that $22.50 by the 10 that was additional of the 40. Okay, so if I were to make a table, and let's just say she works 0 hours, how much is she going to make? Well, if she works 0 hours, she's going to make $0. Let's say that she works 10. 10 hours is under that 40 mark still, so it's going to be the 15 times 10. I'm going to erase the dollar sign because it just doesn't look very nice in there. So she would make 150. What about 20? Well, again, it's under the 40, so it's going to be 15 times 20. So 300. What if she works 30? What about 40? All of these would be in the blue because they're under the 40 or at 40. So 15 times 30, that would be 450. And if she works a full 40 hours, then she's going to make $600. And then any time after that, she's going to make the $15 for every 40 hours plus however many hours she works after that is going to be more. So let's say she works 50 hours. She's first going to get the 15 times 40. But then she's also going to get $22.50 for the other 10 that she worked. So for this one, she would make $825. Okay, and then let's look at, let's just say 60. So again, she's going to get 15 times 40 for the first 40 hours. And then she's going to make an additional $22.50 for the 20 over the 40 hours. And so then she would make $1,050. So if we were to graph this, our X would be the number of hours. Let's do a different pen here. And then this would be earnings. So let's go ahead and just count up by tens here. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 would be here. And then if we go all the way to 60, we need to make sure we go all the way up to at least 1,050. So we're going to count up in order to get there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lines, and we need to go to 1,050. So I'm going to go ahead and say each line is 90, so this would be 180, and then just count up each time. And then I'm going to go ahead and plot these points as best as I can on this graph. I understand the graph is kind of hard. So 0, 0, 10 would be 150, so if this is 180, it would just be right somewhere around underneath it. 20 would be 300, so again, estimating as best as we can. 30, 450, and 40, 600. So this would represent just the normal 40 hours that she works. And then after that, it would jump up a little bit more, right? Because she's making more money for each hour. So 50 would be 825. For some reason, my 5 disappeared. 825. And then 60 we said is 1,050, so up here. Okay, so there's that. This line isn't the best in showing the fact that this part right here is steeper because it's going up faster. So we notice that there's not a constant rate, right? Because this is one rate and then the pink is another rate. So there's two different rates. But writing an equation for both. So the blue one we said is 15 times however many hours she works. But that one is only good for 0 hours to 40 hours. And then if she works more than that, she's going to make the 40 hours plus the additional time that she works. So we're looking at 40 times 15 because she has to work the 40. And then after that, 2250 times x minus 40. So 40 times 15 is 600. And then plus the 2250 x minus 40. And so distribute that. So now we're at 600 plus 2250x minus 40 times 2250 which would be 900. And then 600 minus 900 is negative 300. So she would be making 2250x minus 300. And that's for when she works more than 40. Not equal to, but more than 40. And so this right here would represent our piecewise function. We would write f of x equals, and then in parentheses, our function. And then this would just be like, okay, if she works 37 hours, which one would we use? Well, it's less than 40. So we would just do 15 times 37. And that is 555. And then this one, she's working more than 40, so we would do 2250 times 43 minus 300. And that would give us $667.50. Okay, and then for these, we're just gonna go ahead and graph them, but we're going to use different colors so that we can kind of see how things are working. And so I've gone ahead and I've highlighted what colors I will be using. So for the first one, I'm going to graph, it is this green one. So I have 4x plus 11. So remember that if we're looking at this, I start at 11. This is my y-intercept. And then my slope is 4. So if I start up at 11, which is right here, and then I would go up 4 over 4. Well, I can see that I can't really reach there. So I'm going to go ahead and go opposite. I'm going to go down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. Down 4 over 1. And this is only good for negative 10 to negative 2 on here. So if I draw this whole entire line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have this entire line that is my function for the green one. However, it is only good from negative 10, so here is good, but we have to cut it at negative 2. So here's negative 2 on the x. We need to cut it off here. So I'm going to erase anything past the negative 2. I'm going to only go to negative 2, which is right here. And there is no line underneath, so it is going to be an open circle here. So I'm going to try and my best get a open circle and then draw the line there. Okay, and then the next one was x squared minus 1, which we went over. X squared would be the parabola, the U shape, and it's being moved down 1, so it's going to start down 1, and then over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4. And it does include here, but it doesn't go past because it stops at negative 2, so I can't go past negative 2. And then it only goes till 2, here, so I'm only going to go to 4 here. Oops, that's 3. Well, 3 because it's moved down 1. So there's the blue one, and then the pink one, I go up 1, and then I go up 1 each time, so I would start here, but again, the function only starts at 2, so I can write here, this is where it would start, and my slope is up 1 over 1, but my line only starts here, and there's no line underneath, so again, it is an open circle there. Okay, and then I would pause the video because I'm actually going to just show you the answers for the next two, so if you wanted to try it on your own, I'd pause. And here are the answers for that. And then here's the domain range increasing and decreasing.